Hi, Saurabh. Excited to have you on Spotlight today. You and the team at Lahori have done such an outstanding job at bringing traditional flavored beverages to so many households. So, congratulations on that.
Thank you so much, Rita. It's an absolute honor to be here, and thank you so much for giving me this platform, this opportunity to speak about our entire effort. That's actually paid through.
Fantastic. And we have a bunch of questions to ask you. So,
Looking
tell
forward.
me, how did Lahori actually start? What is the genesis? What is the opportunity you spotted? And how did the team come together?
Sure. So Lahori actually is a manufacturing company that was actually started by three cousins. That's myself, Saurabh Munjal, Nikhil Doda, and Saurabh Bhutna. We're three cousins, and we were all in our 20. We were all 25 years old, and we were all out there, young. You know how a 25-year-old and wants to do something in life, and that's where we were at. And it's often that we would sit at my cousin's place, Nikhil's place, because he's a great chef. He's blessed with great culinary skills. That's where we were, and that is where he made us taste this crazy recipe called jeera. He called it jeera at that time, and we loved it. And that is when was the eureka moment. We realized we've got something special on our hands, and we wanted to create something out of it. That was the whole genesis. That's where we came together. And it's
Fantastic.
pertinent. Yeah, it's pertinent to mention over here that that is when we actually kept the name Lahori as well. The reason being is that's one ingredient that we use in all our SKUs, in all our flavors. There's one common ingredient which is rock salt, and rock salt, basically Lahori's literal meaning is rock salt, and that's where it came from.
Interesting piece of trivia.
Yeah.
So, how did that, session of making something at home and, bunch of cousins together, enjoying yourself, become a business for you? When did you think that this was something you'd like to do at scale and it was an opportunity worth thinking of?
Sure. So after we realized we've got something special on our hand in terms of the formulation, in terms of a product, we did like a small recce. We did a market survey. We did everything that a person's supposed to do before setting up a business, and we put up the entire detailed project report on the paper, and we kind of submitted to our parents. That's where the funding came from. Our parents, all our parents, and we kind of explained them the entire plan that we had, and how long will it take for us to repay their loan that we take from them. And after going through the entire process, that is when we kind of realized that we want to do this. We were absolutely sure of it, and we were told to start small, to not go very big at the very beginning. And we started small. It took years of effort, but we came through.
What is a brand to you? Because beverage is very, very competitive in terms of the shelf space, and you've gone big on offline retail, right? That's what
Yes.
you build Ahori on. So how have you built that brand that people actually want to pick off the shelf and people want to stock and keep right on their shelf? So on both sides, on the supply and demand side, how have you built that compelling brand?
So it's a very interesting journey. It was very difficult to actually. So what we've actually been able to start and initiate is we've kind of created an entire segment which never existed. Uh, what we need to appreciate is that in this beverage space there are basically it's a very unorganized sector. So there's this the big names, which is the Coke, Pepsi, and the Parlays, and then there's the regional players. In the regional space, there aren't a lot of players who are doing it in a very organized manner. We were very conscious of the fact since the very beginning. This was our entire aim at the very first day when we decided we want to get into this, is to build a brand out of this. We're not here to build a business that kind of sells during summers and goes off or goes away during winters. That's not what we were after. We were not just trying to manufacture anything and sell it. We were trying to create a brand out of this. That is something that was consciously, we all three of us were absolutely on the same page with regard to this, and hence it's not for the lack of inquiries. We were very conscious of expanding our geography in terms of our supply chains. It's not that we do not get the inquiries in Delhi or any other states. We've been getting inquiries from everywhere across the country, each city. But we were conscious that once you enter a market, you have to get the maximum shelf over there, support the suppliers, support the supply chain, and that is when the consumers will realize, they will see it so much that you will come across as a brand. And that was the strategy we took. It was a very simple, very basic. We kept to the principles, basic principles. We stuck to them, and it worked out.
That's exactly the North Star that a lot of businesses want to build on the consumer side of it, right? A brand want shelf space, want the consumer demand. But how did you crack that? How did you actually, what you stated is really the North Star, right? But how did you practically achieve it?
I'll tell you, I'll give you a small example that'll really help you understand how we went about doing that. So, at the very beginning, we went out in the market to obviously make distributors, and in order to convince a distributor to give an advance for an entire truckload of Jeera, especially a drink which was never seen before, never heard of, carbonated Jeera with floating ingredients which were edible. So they were very skeptical about it at the very beginning. So what we helped out, how we went about doing our job was, we, before taking that order, we went to the retail outlets. Our team went to the retail outlets, actually sold the entire truck before he made the first payment. So by the
Mm,
time his first truck reached, all he had to do was deliver it to the retailers. And that
mm,
is where the confidence was built in terms of to at the distributor level. And at the retailer level, people, it was just about people trying this product once. As soon
mm.
as anybody tried this product once, they would come back for it again, and that's the quality of product that we've got. And to be very honest with you, it's the quality of product that we've gotten lucky with. It's amazing. You have it once, I'm very sure you come back for it again.
So how have you actually got customers to get that first sampling done, get them to first try Lahori and then convince them, and then it's a cycle of,
Yes, yes.
the repurchase of it. So how has that happened for you?
So as I mentioned, we started really small. Uh, we were obviously did not have the resources to support ourselves in terms of branding and going all out. Or as a matter of fact, we spent absolutely nothing on branding. What we
Mm,
did was, we actually did not even have a big enough budget to actually go for a tasting round for the at the consumer level. We did not have
mm,
that sort of budget
mm,
because that requires a lot of sampling.
mm,
Instead, what we did was, we did the sampling at the retailer level. The
mm,
retail outlets, that's where the sampling happened. They tasted the product, and then we kind of made them understand that how much money do you make on selling each bottle or a box of our product in comparison to our competitors. And that is where the catch was. If my distributor and my retailer earns more money in selling one product, one
mm,
unit of mine, then they actually advertise it for you. It gets down, becomes their responsibility to sell that first drink. And as
mm.
soon as they are able to convince the customer to grab that one bottle, then the product does the thing for them. That's where the magic is.
Tell me three things that work because you're young and three points of friction that you face that are because you're young.
That's an interesting one. I'll tell you the three things that doesn't work in our favor, for sure. Number one is the fact that they don't take you seriously enough just because you're young. Just because you look like a young boy, they think, are they seriously going to be able to pull something like this off? So that's
Mm,
number one. And number two is, the sometimes you're not able to get that respect in the market
mm,
because you're so young, that people don't take you so seriously. And
mm,
number three is, maybe the fact that we're young. We have to address everybody as sir and uncle, and because they're older, even
mm,
though even though even though in that situation I'm not supposed to be addressing
mm,
them like that. So that
mm.
kind of becomes an issue, especially within the office.
Yeah, so relationships and that culture carries on,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
because of
yeah,
the
yeah,
age.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and what works to your favor?
I mean, look at this happening. You come reaching out to me and giving me this opportunity to talk about this. So I guess that's a function of me being young. I mean, there's definitely that point. You get appreciated for what we've done. Maybe if I were 10 years older, I would have probably not gotten as appreciated as I'm being right now. So that's definitely a big plus. And people give you an opportunity if you're young. I mean, they everybody out there, you go for some work, you make a certain request, they actually consider it, and they are very happy, genuinely happy, looking at the us young boys trying to make something out of life. So I think these are the positives about being a young person, and also the energy. I feel the energy
Yeah.
that we have in our system, in our body, and in our mind. I think we're able to pull off more things than, I guess, some 10 years down the line. I think I probably will not be able to do as much.
And I'm,
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
what are your challenges? What are you grappling with right now?
So the biggest challenge that we honestly go through, that actually we've witnessed that challenge each year ever since we've started, is not being able to produce enough. So so our business is sort of seasonal, to say, wherein we kind of have a 3 or 4 month lean period from November, October to
Mm.
January. That's where we plan and market our product, and we kind of expand our geographies. And each year we think, because we're expanding lines, we're expanding capacities, it should not be the case that we've expanded more than we can sell.
Mm.
So because of that fair, we kind of expand geography always more than what we are able to produce. So what happens is, during the season, during the 8 9 months of the year, I'm always struggling to meet the demands of the market, because the gap is so huge that I've never been able to fulfill that. You kind
Mm.
of have to make an entire system of how to get people to wait, pay in advance, wait for their delivery to happen, and that always is a struggle that's been going on since the last 4 to 5 years now.
Yeah, in fact, getting things off the ground is one part of it, which is, where a lot of conversations happen about finding your product market fit, and but scaling has its own
Oh
uh,
yes, yes.
concerns and own requirements. So, what's next? What do we expect from you? What's on the cards?
What's next is really exciting stuff. We've recently been backed by a private equity firm, a very mature one at that, very, very, very helpful. So what we intend to do is, our vision at the end of the day is be the biggest non-cola manufacturer in the country. But that's a long-term vision. A short-term vision is to make this a pan-India brand. In order to do that, I'll have to have my manufacturing facilities at multiple locations. I cannot be making stuff in Punjab and selling them in Mumbai, because freight is a big element, and you cannot do that. That's not viable. And hence, we have to have multiple plants in different geographies in order to be a pan-India brand, and that's what we are doing at the moment. We're trying and planning to expand at a very, very fast pace, as fast as possible. We've been backed by finances, and that's the plan, and that's what we're up to right now. And as you mentioned, scaling is no mean feat. It requires serious consideration and thought process, and that's the process we're under. But
So on
exciting
that
times, great
note,
times.
Saurav, wishing the entire team lots of consumer love and laurels.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity, and I'm glad I'm able to speak to, through your medium, to everybody, to all the budding entrepreneurs, because it's a very, very lonely journey, because each day you're facing different challenges, and to rise up rise above them on everyday level is becomes very, very challenging at some point in time, but you got to keep doing it, because it pays off eventually. It will. So thank you.
Yeah, and it's absolutely a pleasure to have you, and keep doing well. And we are definitely the consumers who love having Lahori. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
you've got some strong advocates on your side.
Thank you so much.